Ready?
Ready when you are.
Good.
See that energy, that prana right there?
So at this point, I'm confident that you're probably familiar with the layers of your being. The koshas, there's 5 basic layers of our experience. And that second layer is called pranamaya kosha, which quite literally means energy body sheath. So it's the energy body. In this video, I really wanted to give, or I guess we wanted to give, an opportunity to talk through 2 very important organs within the energy body. So those 2 organ systems, I should say, are the chakras as well as the vayus.
And the chakras are a very popular topic in yoga studies. In fact, there's a whole nother course on it. But for the sake of this program, we just want to review it lightly and then spend a little bit more time taking a closer look at the vayus together.
So to give an overview of the chakras, and maybe this is a reminder, there are 7 primary chakras, and why they're so compelling is because they provide this map, or I guess this way that we can follow them or look to them for personal development as well as for a heightened level of self-awareness. Now, the term chakra, it quite literally means wheel or disc. And what that references is when yogis would sit in a meditation for a long time, they would have a heightened sense of awareness in these areas, and it would be like this spinning feeling. Okay, so hence wheel or disc. In those energy centers, or the chakra centers, what those actually are is they are primary points of reception as well as absorption and transmission of energy amongst the whole system.
Right. So of course, there's not an actual disc or wheel spinning within. However, anatomically, there are a cluster of nerve endings called a plexus at each of the primary chakra points. Each of the chakra points creates and amplifies energy into the nearby organs. So each point of the chakras is considered to be a reflection of our physical and psychological processes.
Right. So the way we kind of break down the chakras, and to make it easier to understand, is that we divide them into 3 different categories. And luckily, this program follows that same categorization, I should say.
Yeah, it's organized pretty well in that way.
Yeah. So what we have is the lower chamber, the central chamber, and the upper chamber. So the lower chamber is made up of the root, the sacral, as well as the solar plexus chakra. And all 3 of these have very different modes, or I guess very different emphases. But as a cluster, as a group together, you can see them as like the primal centers or your primary needs or individual needs.
Yeah, they're pretty tangible.
Right.
The second center, we just look at the heart. It's the largest chakra center. It's what connects the lower chambers to the higher chambers. And if you take a look at the energy that flows around the heart, it's our ability to give as well as receive, and we start connecting with community and others.
Right. And that leads us to the upper chamber. The upper chamber is made up of the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakras. This is what we consider to be the divine centers. And the divine centers are really all about expression, connection, intuition, as well as spirituality as a whole.
Yeah, there's a whole world of information around the chakras that we could definitely take a closer look at and spend a lot of time on. But for the sake of this program, we do want to go and take a closer look at the vayus, the 5 primary vayus.
Yeah. And like Crystal said, these are a little less known, so this may be new. We will talk through them a little bit throughout the whole program, but this is just to serve as an overview. As prana enters your system, it divides into 5 primary functions or pathways. That's what the vayus are referencing. Those are the vayus. The vayus are a medium in which prana flows into, it exists within it, and it's held together within those mediums. So the term vayu actually doesn't have like a direct translation in English. It's not like a one for one. The best translation that I find the most effective is really that which flows. So the term vayu is that which flows. You may see another definition that would be just called the winds. So that may be kind of like an ample, I guess, alternative. In a yogic context, the vayus are a housing as well as the direction of prana within your being, within your pranamaya kosha.
And so basically there are 5 primary vayus that we'll take a look at. To kind of give you a quick overview, there's pranavayu, apanavayu, samanavayu, vyanavayu, and udanavayu. Pranavayu is the energy associated with your chest, your heart, and your lungs. Apanavayu, however, is translated to the winds that move down or away, meaning your downward energy. It's your lower digestion, including the functions of your kidneys, your bladder, and your colon.
Right. The other 3 represent different parts of your body, right? So samanavayu is located really in your solar plexus area, your upper digestion.
Yeah.
What it references is this balancing energy, and it has to do with how we organize as well as assimilate energy within our being. The next one is called Vyanavayu. This one is best represented by your circulation because it is commonly known as the energy that moves outward or pervades the entire system. So you feel it everywhere, right? So once again, circulation is really the best one-to-one on that one. The last one is Udana. Udanavayu is the upward traveling energy. So it travels upward into your head and neck. This is often kind of like associated with buoyancy as well as balance, coordination, as well as your ability to have some sort of like meaningful expression. Now, throughout the rest of this course, throughout the rest of this program, we're going to work with all these different pranayama techniques. And very commonly, we'll come back and reference the vayus as well as to a lesser degree the chakras as well. But they'll certainly come up. The idea here is to use a lot of the pranayama techniques as well as to coordinate them so that you can strengthen as well as bring a heightened sense of awareness to these centers and these organs of the energy system.
So when you're exploring these pranayama exercises, kind of think about, okay, what direction does this influence energy? Where do you feel this? And we'll associate that with the vayus.
All right, let's get started.